With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
How about it, folks? A little racing action here on a Wednesday night. Welcome to Vidane TV. Welcome to Kansas Speedway. Welcome to the Lugz Racing Series 100-lapper here at Kansas. The second race here in the round of 16. The second race in the playoffs. And taking a look at the points here, you can actually see that Kenny Coppola has, in fact, locked himself into the points, or into the next round, rather, with the win last week. And you can see there the point standings as it crumbles right now. The top 12 are going to be moving on to the next round, and the 4 drivers are going home right now. Are Smith, Hume, Nolan, and Palmer the 5th. And you can see still a very tight battle after one race in this 3-race round. And you can see Coppola, Boyles, Wortman, Bowen, Moffitt. Those guys have a little bit of a cushion there. Coppola already locked in. He's just kind of testing things out, testing the waters, so to speak, for this championship hunt. But he's going to be racing and fun to watch here for sure. Taking a look here at the qualifying lineup here. Again, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here from Vidane TV. A little bit under the weather here tonight, but going to get through this here at Kansas. 100 lappers, definitely not COVID. I got tested a couple days ago and it was negative. I think it's just the weather, as it were. It's starting to get cold, starting to get winter months. No snow yet, but we did have frost here a few months ago, or a few nights ago, so I'm sure that's part of it. I'm going to blame that anyway. But we're going to be watching some racing action here from Kansas. Again, 100 laps on the docket here tonight. You can see all of the drivers lined up down there on pit road, getting ready to go. Kevin Ruff up front on the pole with a 29.785 in that 8 car. He's going to be starting from the front row alongside last week's winner, Kenny Coppola, in that 77 car. And after moving over to Spire Motorsports, teaming up with Chris Spear and company, really been able to set that car on fire, the 77 car, fast all season long. And once we got into the playoffs, really turned on the afterburner. So it's going to be fun to watch the 77 as we get closer to championship night here in February, live on Vidane TV. Tim Wortman Jr., Dave Douthwaite, Jimmy Absher, or Ken Ellert rather, in the top 5. Jimmy Absher, Ed Boyles Jr., Wade Bowen, Jameson, Middle Miss, and Guy Bonifield in the top 10. And you'll be able to see the rest of the drivers float on through the rest of, the starting order on your screen there. 24 cars at the track here tonight. And it looks like the Caleb Levener machine of the number 21 not making it out to the track there. That may actually be a little bit of a glitch in our timing and scoring, but we will, again, get through the technical issues, the health issues, the little bit of a cold here, and we're going to watch some racing, going to call some action here live on Vidane TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, all the different outlets that we've got, all the different social media outlets as well, Twitter, everything that we are getting ready to rock and roll here on iRacing. And again, these guys with us every Wednesday night all the way through the month of February, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing. There is the flag, and there we go. Still side by side, a great jump, or a great start rather, by both of these drivers up towards the front. You can see those yellow banners on the windshield. A couple of championship drivers up in the front row. Tim Wortman Jr. holding on in the 00. Good start for the 8 and the 77. You can see Kevin Ruff as about a car length, maybe 2 car lengths over the 77 of Kenny Coppola. Oh, the leader gets loose, loses the back end of the car, coming into turn number 4, collects it, loses it once again, and there's another wreck in behind him, collecting a lot of drivers, and a lot of the drivers going down in through the grass to try and avoid calamity here. But that's going to bring out the very first Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and I've got a feeling we're going to be rewinding this one a couple of times. But we're going to back this up. Definitely check out the Kong Beer Bongs, kong.2drunk.net, and check out all the cool stuff that they've got going on. New leader, Kenny Coppola in the 77 car. But we'll see if we can take a peek here at that number 8 here from the start, or from the first lap, rather. here coming out of turn number 4, and you can take a peek here right in front of Kenny Capola. No contact or anything like that. Loses it, gathers it back up, tries to hold on to it. Ellert gets by in the 23 car barely, and you can see he comes down to a slow crawl here, but there were a couple of other drivers caught up in that calamity towards the back of the pack, and we're going to rewind it again one more time and take a peek at it from the fans point here, and you can actually see well, you can't see much from that shot, but we'll take a look here. A lot of these drivers involved. You can see the 48 involved, the 16 of Middle Miss involved. Lots of drivers trying to get down on the grass, being cautious, trying to avoid the wrecks here. And you can see the 48 car, Michael Miller, he's going to drive away. But a couple of cars down on pit road. Tim Ingram, Matt Mackin, and company down, getting some repairs to these race cars. And it's going to take a long time for a lot of that virtual sheet metal to get banged out. Taking a look down pit road, a couple of drivers getting some service to their machines. The 9 of Matt Mack and the 48 of Michael Miller, and Tim Ingram is down there in the 62 car as well. So they're going to have to restart here. They haven't lost a lap yet. There you can see the leaders coming into 3 and 4 now. Kenny Capola holding on to the lead after the 8 car gets a little bit squirrely. Tim Wortman Jr. in the 00 car up there as well. Dave Douthwaite, Kevin Ruff in the 8 car. He's going to slide back to 4th after that. And Ken Eller in the 23 car rounding out the top 5. Jimmy Absher, Ed Boyles Jr., Wayne Bowen, and Chris Spear, along with Guy Bonifield, going to be the top 10 so far.
Oh, hello.
Ed Boyles Jr., Paul Strickland Jr., up in the booth. You get a copy?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, I got a copy.
Awesome when technology works on our end here at Vidane TV. Got to talk to you real quick. You come in tonight, second in the points, a little bit of a cushion behind you, getting into the round of 12. What's the game plan for tonight?
Tonight I want to win. I like Kansas. Always going to go for the win and want them bonus points going into the round of 12 and keep going.
Absolutely.
It's always the. Oh, sorry. I was going to say always the goal to win.
100%. Top 10 qualifying effort. Still running in the top 10 now. A little bit of ways to go here, but looking good so far. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Going to be the second place points driver, Ed Boyles Jr., having a solid run in that 5 car. 33 points to the good in the round of 12, and he's going to try and hold on to that position to move on closer to that championship race. The top 4 drivers going to be racing and duking it out at Phoenix International Raceway here in just a couple of months' time. It's crazy to imagine we're already approaching the end of Season 2 here with the Loose Lugz Cup Series, and these guys have been putting on a heck of a show here on Wednesday nights here on Vidane TV. Kind of the staple that's been holding the week's broadcast together here on Vidane TV, and great group of guys, great group of sponsors. Definitely check them out on Facebook and on the web as well. Pretty cool to have these guys on board with us, and very proud to have them here on a Wednesday night. But Kenny Capola, Tim Wortman up in the front, Dave Douthwaite, Kevin Ruff, and Jimmy Absher the top 5, Ken Eller, Ed Boyles Jr., Wayne Bone, Chris Spear, and Guy Bonifield the top 10. Let's try this one more time. Going to get a restart here on lap number 5. Slowly working on the way up through the gears. Kenny Capola able to clear Tim Wortman Jr. by a hair, but Tim Wortman Jr. going to hold on to that high side, or that middle groove rather, try and make a little bit of magic happen to see if he can get that car to hold on to it. How about that 34 car? Take a look at Dave Douthwaite having a great run. He's up a couple of spots from where he qualified. Little side-by-side action with Kevin Ruff in the 8 car. Holding on to that high side, making it work for him early on here in the run. Ken Ellert is there. Ed Boyles Jr. is there as well. You can see those guys wanted to try and make it 4 wide. There was enough room to maybe potentially hold on to it for a second, but not quite. These guys definitely know what they're doing here, and you can see Ken Ellert going to slide back just a little bit, get down to that white line down to the bottom of the racetrack and hold on to the bottom and see if he can get himself a little bit closer to the front. But right now he's going to study the back bumper of the 5 car, see how it works out. And you can see Ken Ellert, Chris Spear trying to join the party as well here, working lap number 7 of 100 on the docket. Taking a peek now at Chris Spear in the number 7 butt kicker ride. He's holding on to that 4th spot. He's up 9 spots here this evening from where he qualified in just a handful of laps, crossing the stripe for lap number 13. Really trying to get up to his teammate there, Kenny Capola in the 77 car, who's holding on to the lead right now by a slim margin over Tim Luckman Jr. Kevin Ruff still holding on to the top 5 as well. And you can see there on-board shot with Chris Spear. You can see trying to chase down the leaders. The leaders are 3 wide almost. There's 3 of them trying to get in on the action. 2 wide for the lead. Wortman's going to get around. He's going to lead this lap. And now Kenny Capola on the high side in front of, or right next to rather, Ed Boyles Jr. running side by side. And Chris Spear now has his sights set on his teammate. He's going to use that high line, try and get a little bit of draft off that number 77. And see if he can get a little bit closer up to the front. And that is going to be big news there. You can see the 9 car, Matt Mackin, going a lap down from the earlier incident. But on board with Chris Spear, you can see really starting to close in on these drivers as they get around a little bit of lap traffic. That's Jamison Minimus and the number 16 car getting on around, losing a lap. And that leaves us with 20. Michael Miller, the 48 car, won the last car in the lead lap, 13 seconds off the pace currently here. And you can see a little side-by-side action with Kevin Ruff in the 8. Kenny Capola dropping back another spot. He's going to drop into the 5th spot from the lead here. You got to wonder what's going on with that car. Might have just lost concentration just a little bit, but still going to crank that thing up and make sure he's got that Sasquatch juice flowing in that number 77 car. Kevin Ruff now closing in on the back bumper of Chris Spear in that 7 car. Going to go high, wide, and handsome all the way up to the outside wall. How about that onboard shot? As he's still trying to get that run. He's got that run. He's going to get Chris Spear, as Chris Spear is going to hold on to the bottom side. Kevin getting a little bit of a draft help from Ed Boyles Jr. there in the number 5. And you can see making it work. Absolutely phenomenal move, trying to get him around on the outside, but they come back onto the front stretch. Chris Spear going to go down onto the apron, not out of bounds here at Kansas. Going to come back up and still door handle to door handle as they get into turn number 1. Chris Spear now with a little bit of an advantage. You can see just barely outside that left side window. Exiting turn number 2 seems to be the strong spot for the number 8 car, but turns 3 and 4 a little bit quicker for Chris Spear, who slides back just a little bit. Kenny Capola now back up into the 4th position. You got to wonder if these 77 and 7 cars, Aspire Motorsports entries of Spear and Capola, are going to work together just a little bit right now, drafting just a little bit. But Ken Ellert there now trying to make it a party. He's going to come up from the 6th position, see if he can get around Chris Spear for the top 5. A little bit further back, you can see Dave Douthwaite has found himself a little bit of a easy resting spot right now, right in front of Wayne Bowen here in the 7th and 8th positions, respectively. He's got the little patriotic paint scheme there on the number 34. Very cool, the Valhalla Project on the quarter panel. Definitely check that out. I see it on Facebook all the time. Very cool for our veterans and those that have served our great country here. But Dave Douthwaite having a pretty solid run in the top 8 right now. He's going to lose that position currently to Wayne Bowen in the 11 car. Well, maybe not quite. You can see Frosty on the hood of that number 11 car. Great shot. See if we can potentially get a good shot of that. A great shot of the number 11 car. How about that? Frosty getting ready to get things rolling here for the Christmas season. Jimmy Absher in the 9th spot. Wade Palmer the 5th, rounding out the top 10. And Drew Moffitt right outside. Drew Moffitt in the 52 car. Actually, tonight's a hard charger. He's up 13 spots from where he's qualified and having a relatively clean run in that number 52 and just trying to break into that top 10. But up front, still Tim Wortman Jr. by about a quarter of a second in front of Ed Boyles Jr., who is in 2nd place. Kevin Ruff, Kenny Capola, and Chris Spear are going to round out the top 5. Setting ourselves up for a little bit of a green flag run here, working lap number 22, almost quarter of the way through this one. Eyeballing the 24 car of Wade Palmer the 5th. New colors on that machine and looking good out on the racetrack as everybody else is. And don't want to quite call it a conveyor belt action here as Ed Boyles Jr. gets around for the lead. He's going to take that lead from Wortman, who slips back to 3rd. Kevin Ruff now back up to 2nd place here. And you can see the top 3 drivers have kind of broken away just a little bit. The 77 of Kenny Capola back there with his teammate, rounding out the top 5. Chris Spear in that 5th position. But a great run for Ed Boyles Jr. trying to capitalize. Right now he came into tonight 33 points to the good above that cutoff line, but he doesn't want to rest on that. And you can see right now he wants to come out and go according to plan. He wants to win this race, lock himself in, and kind of use next week as a little bit of a test session. But having a good run, that 5 car looks clean, looks fast all the way around the racetrack. Battle here for the second half of the top 10. You can see Wayne Bowen barely in the shot there for 7th in that number 11 car. Dave Douthwaite right in behind him. Wade Palmer the 5th and Drew Moffitt right in there. The 52 car having a great run up another spot. 14 gained throughout the night so far. Started in 24th, currently in that top 10, and he just broke into that top 10, took that position from Jimmy Absher in the 18 car. Back at 11th, Keith Hume Sr. Haven't talked about him all night so far. He's up 10 spots in that number 1 car. In at the 12th spot, Bobby Justice in behind him with Tyler Smith in the 96 car. A couple of drivers just kind of biding their time a ways from the main pack. They got enough time to react if something does happen here. Up in the front of the pack, the 99 car of Joshua Nolan. He's up 6 spots in the 99 car. Colin Zemer back in the 32. Holding, holding on to a top 20. Derek Cook, Josh Battles, and Michael Miller currently holding on to the top, or to the lead lap. 19 cars on the lead lap. Currently a little side-by-side action between teammates. Kenny Coppola gonna take the spot, but Chris Spear gonna go all the way down on the apron. Ken Ellert is there as well. There's a trifecta of championship caliber drivers. Have those yellow spoilers, the yellow window banners, and they are going to be putting on a show here for us on Verdane TV. And want to make sure we thank, again, everybody for tuning in here on a Wednesday night, a little Loose Lugz Cup racing action here at Kansas Speedway. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth. Little onboard shot for Kenny Coppola in the 77 car. And you can see he's got some work to do to catch back up to those leaders, about 4.5 seconds back here in the 5th position as he battles side by side with Chris Spear in his teammate right down on the bottom, and he's going to get that position. Spear up to 4th, Coppola back to 5th, and the field's starting to kind of edge apart just a little bit. Taking a look at some of the exciting shots around the racetrack here, and really the battle seems to be that second half of the racetrack, or second half rather of the top 10. And you can see Wade Palmer, the 5th, up another spot. Drew Maffitt holding on to that 10th spot in that 52 car, but still trying to make the magic happen. Oh, Kevin Ruff up in the outside wall, all the way up there. Sparks flying, little bit of damage now on the right-hand side of that number 8 car. See if we can get a good shot of it as he comes out of the corner, or comes into the corner now, and you can see losing a lot of time now to Ed Boyles Jr. You can watch that ticker come down. He's actually going to come down pit road, and I don't think this is going to be a scheduled stop. Well, potentially it might be, because here comes Tim Wortman Jr., Kenny Coppola down, Wayne Bowen as well. Lots of drivers coming down to get some service. Might just be how the things lined up here for the number 8 car, getting a little bit of damage as he comes down on pit road, and you can see the yellow banners. All 4 of these drivers, championship caliber drivers, coming down. Ed Boyles Jr. still out on track, holding on to the lead. He's got 4.5 seconds on back to 2nd place, and there you can see Chris Spear is trying to close in on that number 5 car, but the 5 car, he's going to come down pit road. He's going to get service to that machine. So this is going to be big. This is going to be forcing the hands of some of the drivers up towards the front. The 5 car comes down. Ken Ellert, Dave Douthwaite, Wade Palmer, the 5th, Bobby Justice, Keith Hume, Justin Nolan, feeding time at the zoo, as our buddy Kevin King would say. And you can see a lot of these drivers coming down for fresh tires and Sunoco race fuel to get to where they need to go. And where that's going to be is the very next pit stop here. And essentially 25 to 30 laps. Chris Spear going to give up the lead in the number 7 car. He's going to come down and get some service. How about Drew Moffitt? He's going to come down in the 52 car. Great run for that 52 car. Jimmy Absher is going to come down, grab himself a bag of M&Ms and potentially an ice-cold Coke, and he's going to get back out on track. Maybe some tires and fuel, too. We need that for the race. Tyler Smith in the 96. He's going to come down and get some service as well. Derek Cook still out on track, as well as Josh Battles. These guys are begging for a caution at this point. We can see Drew Moffitt leads a lap. He's going to come down on pit road, get some service. A 14 car holding on to the lead. There's some big-time damage there for the 16 at Middle Miss from an earlier incident. Didn't quite catch that one. But there you can see Derek Cook holding on to the lead right now. A little bit off the pace, not even off the pace. The tires have kind of worn down just a bit. And these drivers coming down pit road know that they need to get back out on track as quickly as they can before that caution flag comes out, if in fact it does. .14 car going to come down pit road, teammate in behind him, the 41 as well. Josh Battle's going to get some tires and fuel. And you can see they enter the pit road all the way back on the backstretch. And we can see Kevin Ruff still holding on. How about that? Kevin Ruff, the first driver to come down pit road as this cycles out. We potentially will have the 8 car as the leader. The 5 car of Ed Boyles Jr. right on his tail, though. You can see these drivers down on pit road getting service to their machine. Ooh, the 14 had to back up and get that spot. But how about it? Kevin Ruff, a little bit of damage coming down before pit road, and he started on the pole. So that very first number 1 pit stall definitely going to be helping him out to get him off pit road as quickly as he can. But don't look now. Ed Boyles Jr. now up to the door, up to the front bumper. He is going to clear Kevin Ruff, move that number 5 car back up to the lead, and that's where he wants to try and hang on to it. 1/3 the distance, 34 laps down of the 100 on the docket here tonight. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there for the number 5 of Ed Boyles Jr., but they got plenty of time to play. Tim Wortman Jr. almost 3 seconds back. Kenny Capola back 4 seconds almost, and Wayne Bowen in the 11 car in the 5th position, 5.5 seconds back. And we have to take a peek. Chris Spear is actually still on pit road in the number 7 car, having some issues, maybe a long pit stop, maybe some sort of incident that might not have brought the caution out. You can see the number 9, the Hendrick Motorsports teammate Matt Mackin having a rough go of it in the 9 car, coming down to get some more damage repaired. And there you can see the 62 losing a lap, another lap there for the 62 car. Tim Ingram having a rough go of it here tonight. But still 15 cars on the lead lap, the last one being Drew Moffitt. It looks like he might very well be right in front of these spotters, or very, very close to it, or right in front of these drivers here. But you can see Tim Wortman Jr., Kenny Capola, and Wayne Bowen in the top 5, and that 5 car, Ed Boyles Jr., going to hold on to the lead. All the way up to that outside wall. You can almost reach out and touch it from the driver's seat. Ed Boyles Jr. has shown that he has had himself lots of practice here at Kansas, and these guys do not disappoint. I believe the first time we ever saw the Multi-League Cup Series and the Loose Lugz Cup Series, both the original races here on Verdane TV were at Kansas, and the racing did not disappoint. Watching the Cup cars here in iRacing, and if you're new to the sim racing world, you want to check this out, go to iRacing.com, and now is the time to sign up. 25% off 2-year renewals. Ooh, a little bit of wall contact there for the 5 car. You can see the 41 trying to get one of his laps back, or his lap back. His first car 1 lap down in that 41 car, and he has got a little bit fresher tires by a lap or 2 than the 8 and 5. So he's going to try his best to get up around that 5 car, just in case the caution flag does come out, get his lap back the hard way, so to speak. But iRacing.com, 50% off for new members. A Black Friday sale that's going on right now, and it's going all the way through December 4th. And as you get the basic package of iRacing, comes with a lot of different tracks, different cars, different racing styles, and you can check out exactly what you want to do, and obviously more additional content can be purchased at the iRacing.com website. But lots of fun here. Big time events coming up here. Loose Lugz is bringing us all the way through the winter months here. We're going to be keeping things hot, as it were. And that's New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series. If oval racing's not your fancy, your forte, you can check out the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group tomorrow night for the Zany Does the Glenny 30. Going to be a lot of fun at Watkins Glen. No cautions in that race. Should be done and over with within an hour, so that's going to be pretty cool. And I believe Austin Creed going to be joining me in the booth for that one tomorrow night, as well as potentially, Tim Terry's busy. Tim Terry going to be doing the last chance qualifier for the 2nd annual TCM 300. That's going to be live this Friday. Lots of big-time fast drivers, and we saw a couple of them here a little bit earlier tonight on Tim's Corner Live. So lots of cool stuff coming up throughout here. East Coast Winter League kicking things off for their modified racing action. They're going to be running some select shows here on Sunday nights, and lots of entertainment value here on Verdane TV. As the months get colder, the sim racing world heats up, and we're going to be bringing you all the action. Drivers spread out all the way around this racetrack. You can see a couple of drivers, Derek Cook and Josh Battle, still trying to get their lap back. Running quick lap times right up with the leaders, but we did see the 14 and the 41 car come down pit road a little bit later than these drivers up in the front here in the lead, the 5 and the 8, Ed Boyles Jr. and Kevin Ruff. And we also noted that the 14 and the 41 came down pit road on the backstretch, whereas a lot of these drivers came down right off of turn number 4, so they might have lost just a little bit of time there on pit road entry. But you can see, very fast race car, the 62, Tim Ingram fast as well, multiple laps down in that 62 car, but still holding on tough with Kevin Ruff in the number 8 car, and he's kind of sliding back just a little bit, almost 1.5 seconds back from Ed Boyles Jr. in that lead. We may mention again that 5 car came in with a 33-point cushion over the cut line for the round of 12 here for the race 2 and the round of 16, and we're going to be racing for a championship over the next month or so, and it's going to be exciting. You're only going to be able to see it right here on Vidane TV. Tim Wortman Jr. letting the 62 car know that he's there. Third place driver trying to move up towards the front. You can see Ed Boyles Jr. is pulling away on this one, almost a 2-second lead now on Kevin Ruff in the 8. Tim Wortman Jr. about 3 seconds back from the leader. Still working on these drivers trying to get their laps back, but you can see the car starting to fall off just a little bit. The 00 gets down and around on the bottom side. He's going to lead this 3-pack of cars up towards the front a little bit closer. You can see Wayne Bowen Jr. kind of all by himself here as we approach the halfway marker, 1 lap away for lap 50 here of 100. Wayne Bowen in 4th, and another good shot of Frosty, a little bit more family-friendly shots of Frosty there. Ken Ellert in the DoorDash number 23 car, holding on to the top 5, been up in the top 5 all night long. And man, DoorDash would be really, really good right now. We should try and reach out to them for some sponsorship. I can go for a McRib. Dave Douthwaite in the 34, down a couple of spots, but still having a solid run. The Valhalla Project number 34 car running in 6th. Hendrick Motorsports gives us the 6th place. Check that, the 7th place runner, Wade Palmer the 5th in the 24 car. Still holding on to that 7th spot, 9 spots up from where he qualified. And Kenny Capola, after that round of pit stops, seems to have faded back into the bottom half of the top 10. You can see here, currently running in the 8th position. He's got Bobby Justice in behind him, the Discount Tire number 2 car. Trying to close up in the back bumper. Jimmy Absher still holding on to the top 10. Good run for the M&M's Mini number 18 Camry. And you can see Drew Moffitt, still the hard charger of the race, currently running in the 11th position, and he is up 13 spots from where he qualified. Keith Hume in behind him. He's up 10 spots in the South Point Casino number 1 car. Tyler Smith still in behind him in the number 96 car. And Smith trying to get a little bit closer to the front. You can see both of those drivers sporting the yellow banners on the top of the race cars. So they want to have best points possible here tonight. Joshua Nolan in the 99 car. Another yellow stripe on the windshield and on the spoiler. The 99 car holding on to the 14th spot. He's up 7 from where he qualified. There you see Colin Zeman, the 32. The Trump 2024 car holding on. That Mustang in the 15th spot. Josh Battles gets around the leader, it looks like. Nope, just kidding. Still in behind the number 00, Tim Wortman Jr. But Josh Battles, Derek Cook, the Stuart Haas Racing teammates, the 41 and 14, still holding on around the top 5 drivers, but they are trapped 1 lap down to the leader, Ed Boyles Jr., in that Hendrick Motorsports number 5 car. And speaking of Hendrick Motorsports, you can see coming up on his Hendrick Motorsports teammate, the number 48 of Michael Miller. Already multiple laps down to the 48, but still trying to hold on. You can see he's going to get right out of his teammate's way. There you can see another one of the Hendrick Motorsports car having a rough go of it. Matt Mackin in the 9 car having some damage from an earlier incident. He's multiple laps down as well, but potentially could be a party here in Kansas. Ed Boyles Jr., the number 5 car, holding on to the lead as we cross the stripe for lap number 55. Green flag pit stops once again. This is going to force the issue where a lot of these drivers up toward the front. Douthwaite, Coppola, Wortman all down on pit road. Ken Ellert, Jimmy Absher, Tyler Smith, Joshua Nolan, Drew Moffitt all on pit road. Kevin Ruff is down there as well. And he was the first driver to come down the last set of green flag pit stops. And he ended up with the lead after all that. So going to be very interesting here. Big time feeding time at the zoo. And Kevin Ruff down and away. It looks like he might have only taken 2 tires on that stop as he is pulled away from the rest of the field down on pit road. And there you can see a good shot of drivers kind of merging up. Ed Boyles Jr. still staying out. Bobby Justice, Keith Hume Sr., they're going to come down pit road. Oh, big time slide on entry for the number 5 car. He holds on to it. Going to roast those back tires, though. He is absolutely going to have to change all 4 on that 5 car. And Wade Palmer, the 5th, Hendrick Motorsports teammates, he is going to stay out and lead himself a lap in that number 24 car. Been in the top 10 all night long. He wants to get himself a lap led, and there you see it, 24 up to the point. Colin Zemer, Josh Battles, Derek Cook, the 3 other drivers, that still have yet to come down and make a pit stop. There you can see what the new tires are going to do. The 8 of Kevin Ruff just down and around the 24 car like he was standing still, and he's going to pull away here. So that just really shows what the tire wear does as we get longer and longer into a run. Wade Palmer has seen enough and felt enough on those old tires. A little bit of a slide as he comes down and around to pit road entry, but he's going to come down and get service to his machine. Colin Zemer in the 32 car holding on to it. Is he going to stay out, maybe lead himself a lap? It does, in fact, looks like he's going to. He's got a bit of distance between he and what would be the 3rd place driver. Nope, we're actually going to see the 32 going to lock him up coming out of turn number 4. Misses the commitment cone. Big mistake there for the 32 driver. That is going to be big. I believe iRacing, the simulation will give him a penalty for that. We're going to have to check back in with that. And you can see the 24 car just exiting pit road now as well. Josh Battles in the 41. A couple of drivers that pitted very late. Running 1 and 2 now. Derek Cook in the 14, and this is where these drivers wanted to get a caution flag. They've got a couple of laps that they can run before they have to come down and get tires on these Stewart-Haas racing machines, and I think they're going to do just that. 40 laps to go now as we cross the stripe. Josh Battles out front. Derek Cook still has to make a pit stop at those top 2 drivers. Kevin Ruff, Ed Boyles Jr., Tim Hortman Jr., the top 5. Still waiting for the 41 and the 14 to make a pit stop here, and you can see, according to timing and scoring, looks like they're going to slow down and try and get down to the entry of pit road. The 41 car going to drive on by. Here comes the 5 and the 8. Ed Boyles Jr., Kevin Ruff, hooked up nose to tail. They're going to get right around that number 41 car and take that lead back, and you can see they're going to do it on the high side, and you can see the 8 car goes all the way up, scrapes the wall just a little bit. Done that a couple of times here tonight. And really exciting action all the way around the track. There you see a shot of Tim Wortman Jr. in the 5th position. And he's trying to get himself up towards the front. Working lap number 63. Josh Battles, Derek Cook, they're going to give up their hopes on hoping for the caution flag. They're going to come down pit road in the 41 and the 14. Make some pit stops. Believe we may be good to go from here. We might have to make one more pit stop depending on how the caution flags fall here. And there you can see the leader of Ed Boyles Jr. holding on to that spot. Kevin Ruff right in behind him, and then it's a little bit of a distance back to the rest of the field. Tim Wortman Jr. 2 seconds back. Wayne Bowen in 4th, almost 8 seconds back. Dave Douthwaite in the 5th spot is back by about 10 seconds. These drivers having a good solid run all the way around the racetrack here and putting on one heck of a show here for us at Vidane TV. Watching a little Kansas racing action here, 100 laps at Kansas Speedway for the Loose Lugz Cup Series here on a Wednesday night, working lap number 65 of 100 on the board here. Race number 2 and the round of 16. Lots of numbers with these playoffs here. Kenny Capole in the 77 car locked himself in. He is racing for the round of 12 with a win last week. He's currently running in the 13th position. Started off like a shot, running up in the top 5 all night long, but then kind of fell back just a little bit as he is currently just outside the top 10, running in the 13th spot. Currently 14 drivers on the lead lap of the 24 starters here at Kansas, and lots of action all the way around the racetrack, and we hold on to it. And one of the cool things about the iRacing simulation world is there's multiple races, hundreds of races that are happening right now in the iRacing world. And one of the cool things that we can do here on Vidane TV is get different communications through all the different race car channels. And our buddy Brandon Campbell's actually running the Snowball Derby here tonight, and we'll see if we can get a little satellite link up here. Brandon Campbell, this is Paul Strickland Jr. up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was a little confused what was going on for a minute, but yeah, I can hear you.
Well, we're watching the Loose Lugz Cup Series race that you were supposed to commentate here with me at Kansas here tonight, but the Snowball Derby having a little bit of preface here tonight. How's the race going?
Well, we started in the back. It was going well for a minute, and then a big pile up going into turn 1, so now we're back into the back again.
Tell Paul about the guy you just dumped.
Well, we dumped the guy as the wreck was happening. It wasn't my fault. Tim was actually yelling in my ear, so I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, but you said you were dumping him before the wreck even happened.
Whatever.
Always a good time chiming in. We'll let you get back to racing. We got to get back to some green flag racing. We're on lap number 69. Nice. Always cool to connect up with different friends throughout the sim racing world. Just heard Brandon Campbell on Tim's Corner Live earlier here tonight on Vidane TV, episode number 38. Crazy to think that we've been doing that for so long, 38 weeks, 42, 43 weeks or so. We've had a couple of off weeks and what have you, so pretty cool little deal. Atlanta, Canada's most popular drivers tuning in each and every week, and it's great to have the fans tune in and chime in as well, as we like the fan interaction and everything as well. So, but back here live at Kansas, lap number 70, 30 laps to go, and we're experiencing probably one of the longest green flag runs of the season here. It's been about, we've gone through 2 green flag pit stops, so it's been a really long green flag run there, and you can actually see Chris Spear in the 7 car multiple laps down, but has rejoined the field there, currently running in the 18th spot, a little bit of an earlier incident. 11 cars now on the lead lap. Ed Boyles Jr. really setting a blistering pace in that 5 car. He knows he's got a little bit of a cushion in behind him for the championship, and we see Chris Spear trying to get around the rest of the lap traffic to stay away from that leader as he puts another lap on the Matt Mackin machine and the number 9 teammate there. And he's going to close in on Smith in the 96 car. There you can see the M&M's Minis number 18 car of Absher holding on to the lead lap right now, but Ed Boyles Jr. is coming in a hurry, and that car is bad fast. Ed Boyles Jr. knowing he's got a lot of time on his hands, slowly, methodically working his way around these lap cars. And you can see Trevor Smith still trying to stay onto the back bumper. Doesn't want to see the 5 car get around the 18, but there you can see it. Actually going to pull up on the high side and let the leader go on by. Going to give us 9 cars now on the lead lap. Ed Boyles Jr., Kevin Ruff, 1 and 2. And you can see about 3.5 seconds the distance between those 2 drivers. Tim Wortman Jr., 4.5 seconds back. Wayne Bowen, 11 seconds back. Dave Douthwaite, almost 15 seconds back. And you can see Palmer, Justice, Moffitt, Hume, and Absher currently in the top 10. 9 drivers on the lead lap. And some of those drivers in the second half of the top 10 in danger of going down a lap here in just a couple of laps. Three-quarter distance mark as we cross the stripe. 75 down, 25 laps to go. Ed Boyles Jr. has that car on rails. And you can see he is picking up some of these lap traffic cars. Ooh, the 96 car down, up into the wall. Tyler Smith, big time contact coming. Oh, slaps that inside pit wall. Still green, he's down in the grass. Everything is clear. He's off the racing groove. At this point in time, I don't think we're going to get a caution. He's going to try and rejoin the racing surface here. Nope, he's going to go down to the pit stall and see if he can maybe get that thing worked out. That is a tough break for Tyler Smith, running right outside the top 10. Just the second driver, one lap down, but we stay clean, and, well, we don't stay clean, but we stay green. And that 96 car is going to go down to the attention of his pit crew and see if he can get that car worked on. But Ed Boyles Jr. still continues to be on rails, 4 1/4 seconds over Kevin Ruff in that number 8 car, tonight's point sitter. And you can see the 5 car seems to have cranked the wick up just a little bit, running very, very fast. And you can see he's getting ready to put down the 16 car of Jamison Middlemiss, missing the hood on that car, missing the whole front end of that car. A little bit of damage there on the 16 from an earlier incident. Now he's going to set his sights on that South Point Casino number 1 car of Keith Hume Sr. That's the 9th place driver that Ed Boyles Jr. is getting ready to put a lap down here, as we've been green for a very long time here at Kansas. Great racing all the way around the racetrack, and Ed Boyles Jr. really picking them up, putting them down. We made mention the cold winter months are coming up here. It's actually cold up here in New England, in Connecticut. Got down to little frosty temperatures last night, so make sure you keep yourself warm. Check out the Vidane TV virtual merchandise booth, www.vidane.shop. You have to put the www in there for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but it won't load if you don't use it. But definitely check it out. And lots of Vidane TV sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. We've got Rent a Race Car merchandise. Angry Tree Guy is up in there, and a lot of Grand Theft Auto-esque items that are up in that shop as well. So be sure to check that out. www.vidane.shop for all sorts of cool stuff. Makes some great Christmas gifts as well. Spread around the racetrack, taking a look at Bobby Justice now in the 6th position. That number 2 car, Wayne Bowen, going to come down on pit road as Tim Wortman Jr. comes down in the 00, going to give up that 3rd position, come down pit road. So everybody looks like they have to make one more pit stop here, and these drivers are going to come down early. Ed Boyles Jr. going to stay out on track. We'll see what he does this time by. Has a little bit of time to make up his mind here, and one of the things that we saw when he came down pit road last time, big time slide in the back end. You can see a little bit less tot to trot in that 5 car. He's going to come down nice and smooth on pit entry and get a little bit of service done there. You can see Kevin Ruff really closing the gap on that entry. Here comes the 3rd place driver, I believe, one of the lap car drivers. Tim Wortman Jr. is up in there. Wade Palmer, Joshua Nolan, Kenny Capola going to come down pit road. There you see him at the entry. And Dave Douthwaite going to inherit the lead for the first time here tonight. The Valhalla Project number 34 out front, currently holding on to that position. And the number 2 car, Bobby Justice, he's going to move up to the 2nd spot. Still has to come down pit road one final time here with 19 laps to go, but he's going to gamble just a little bit, see if he can potentially get himself a couple of laps led, maybe catch a quickie yellow. And you can see he's down on the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he might be slowing to come down, and there you see it. He's going to come down on the apron and get some service to that machine. So Bobby Justice down on pit road. David Douthwaite in the 34 car still out front, though, holding on to it. And you can see he's got almost the entire field lapped as everybody comes down to make their pit stops. Just really shows what kind of pace that Ed Boyles Jr. was setting here in this race. But Ed Boyles Jr. in that 5 car did not lose a lap under that green flag segment, and he is going to inherit the lead. He moves on into 2nd here, and there you can see he's on the front stretch already, so he's going to take that lead back as Dave Douthwaite comes down pit road. Ed Boyles Jr. re-inherits the lead, and Kevin Ruff going to hold on to the second spot, 4.5 seconds back, about where they were. Tim Wortman Jr. makes up a little bit of time in that 00 car, 5 seconds back. Wayne Bowen and the 14 car of Derek Cook going to move into the 5th spot. Dave Douthwaite, Wade Palmer the 5th, and Drew Moffitt, the 8 cars on the lead lap. Keith Hume Sr. and Bobby Justice rounding out the top 10. Lots of drivers still out on the racetrack, but the pace has been blistering fast from that Hendrick Motorsports, HendrickCars.com number 5 car. As we take a look at some of the exciting action throughout the racetrack, there you can see the 32 of Colin Zemer holding on to the 15th position here. Joshua Battles right in behind him, and here's a little bit of a gaggle of cars. Dave Douthwaite in the 34 car. There you see the 33 of Guy Bonifield. Haven't mentioned him too much here tonight. Running in the 23rd position, multiple laps down from an earlier incident. You can see he's actually going to pull off the racetrack there. And the 32 car trying to get back on the lead lap in that number 32, but Dave Douthwaite going to get down and around. And you can see just how much room Ed Boyles Jr. has in behind him. And there's a couple of lap cars even between he and the second place driver of Kevin Ruff, Tim Ingram going to come down in the 62 in the MVP car, get some service, as well as the 33. 33 actually looks like he may have pulled into the garage area, so Guy Bonifield done for the evening, and everybody else, it looks like, still 22 cars out on the racetrack. A great showing here at Kansas. Long green flag runs has been the name of the game, and Ed Boyles Jr. just been blistering fast. And we made mention a couple of times here tonight, came in with a 33-point cushion over that cutoff line for the round of 12. And he doesn't want to rest on his laurels. He doesn't want to rest on that. He wants to come in. We talked to him earlier on tonight in the race under caution, and he wants to come out and he wants to win this race and show that he is going to be a championship contender all the way through this playoff segment with the Loose Lug Cup Series here in the next 10 or so Wednesday evenings here. Going to be racing all the way through the holidays as well. Going to have some special events coming up here on Vidane TV as well. We haven't quite announced anything. We were going to do the big bottle rocket race, but that plans unfortunately fell through. But we're definitely going to do a little fun run racing on the racing action rather here on Vidane TV throughout the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all sorts of good stuff. And Tim's Corner Motorsports going to be bringing us a lot of the smashed potato races, which is pretty cool little series that Tim does, and well, yours truly was able to come up with the name, which is pretty neat. It's, I really like mashed potatoes, I guess. But Ed Boyles Jr. crosses the stripe here with 10 laps to go. Kevin Ruff closing the door just a little bit. Just kidding. Caution flag comes out. Looks like the 2 car of Bobby Justice might be involved, and there you can see he's pointing it the wrong way, wrong direction there for it. You're at the entrance of pit road, so that's going to bring out the Kong Beer Bong Instant Replay, and more importantly, that is going to reset the field and give us, I believe, 9 drivers on the lead lap once we get that free pass car taken care of. But we'll take a little bit of a look here, and you can see on this Kong Beer Bong Instant Replay, a little 3 drivers going for the same piece of real estate, the 1, the 2, and the 8. Kevin Ruff right in there, that second place driver. Gets into the back of the number 2 car, big time damage, loses the nose of the number 1 car, or checked out the number 8 car. And that is, we're going to have to back that up one more time. That was the 1 car that lost the nose, but Kevin Ruff right up in there, just gets into the corner of the 2 car, trying to get down and around Bobby Justice, and unfortunately that 2 car goes around. The damage doesn't look too bad on the 8. Tim Wortman Jr. right in there as well, but that is a tough break for that number 2 car, as well as the other driver that was involved in that. But that's going to bring out a caution flag here. And again, thanks to Kong Beer Bong for jumping on board the sponsorship for the instant replay. Check them out at kong.2drunk.net. Be the life of the party and make the good times better with a Kong Beer Bong. They've got all sorts of cool stuff going on. They've got camo Kongs. I believe they're coming out with custom Kongs here very, very shortly. So we might have to see if we can't potentially get a Vidane TV logo on one of those bad boys. But Ed Boyles Jr. is still out front. Jimmy Absher is going to get the free pass, and there's going to be 9 drivers on the lead lap. And the only driver to come down pit road is Derek Cook in the 14 car, so he might have a little bit of damage on that car. Maybe he's got an extra set of tires down there that the crew's been saving, and they're going to put that on there, and that could potentially give him a little bit of an advantage here with 9 laps to go. A lot of these drivers came down about 10 laps or so ago under green flag conditions. Didn't really have an opportunity to work on their cars, but you can see a little bit of a fake out action there. Kevin Ruff is telling everybody, yeah, I'll pit. Nope, just kidding. And a couple of lap cars going to go down, get some service. Kikim Sr. in the number 1 car, got to get that damage repaired on the nose. Chris Spears down there. Bobby Justice involved in that incident. He's going to bring that 2 car down. Here comes Josh Battles in the 41. Kind of an up and down day throughout the night. Michael Miller, Matt Mack, and the Hendrick Motorsports duo down on pit road. Matt Mackin still surviving there in that number 9 Napa Know-How car. Here you can see the 7 of Chris Spear. He's down there as well. Had a good run going up in the top 5, top 10 earlier on, and just misfortune, maybe a couple of bad pit stops has put him back in the 14th position. But Ed Boyles Jr. still out front. Kevin Ruff a little bit rattled, involved in that incident there, but has a little bit of time, a couple of laps here under caution to kind of revamp and refocus and try and figure out exactly what that 5 car is doing to be fast. He's got a little bit of time here, 8 laps to go here at Kansas to try and close into the back bumper and try and get up and around that number 5 car. And it's crazy to think, a 100-lap race, we've gone through 92 of them. This is only the 2nd caution here tonight. But this does bring in the question, do cautions breed cautions? Are we going to see a quick spat of cautions, or are we going to take this thing all the way to the green flag? And we're going to find out. There's one way to find out. You can watch it live right here on Vidane TV. And again, thank you so much for tuning in here live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. And thanks for following along on all of our social media outlets. The same networks we just mentioned. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. Do a quick search for Vidane TV. We'll pop right up. And we are always looking for fan interaction. We try to be interactive throughout the broadcast, but sometimes there's just so many buttons to push and so many words to say that we kind of lose track of time. But 7 laps to go. The lights are off on the iRacing pace car. Everybody lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. And Ed Boyles Jr. going to take that high sign that we've seen so many drivers have success here at Kansas and at these 1.5 cookie cutter tracks, so to speak. And he's going to try and take advantage of that high side with Kevin Ruff down low. Corn dog and a Coke time for the pace car driver. He's down on pit road, and you can see real close to 5, comes all the way down, almost touches the inside door of the 8. Little bit of mind games, didn't quite work out how the 5 car wanted. Kevin Ruff is going to take the lead and slide on up in front of Ed Boyles Jr. Going to open the door down on the bottom side. How about Dave Douthwaite pushing the 00? Tim Wortman Jr. A little bit of dings, a little bit of dents on both of those cars, but they're making the best of it. Here, 6 laps to go, and now you can see the 5 car of Ed Boyles Jr. all over the back bumper of Kevin Ruff in the 8. He's going to slide on down to the bottom side. Great in-car shot. Shows him right on that white line all the way around, coming out of turn number 4, crossing the stripe. A high 5 from the flagman. 5 laps to go for the number 5 of Ed Boyles Jr. Still holding on to the lead briefly, barely. Kevin Ruff is doing everything he can. High, wide, and handsome. Goes up, kisses the wall just a little bit. You can see gets right to the back bumper. Tries to get him a little bit loose with the air. He's going to shoot on down to the bottom side. Kevin Ruff now to the lead. He's going to slide up in front of Ed Boyles Jr. A little crossover action to come. There you can see Ed Boyles Jr. closes right into the back bumper. He's going to go down to the bottom side. All the way down to the bottom side. Big time block from Kevin Ruff. 4 laps to go. Holding out of the high side, the 8 car still in the lead, but there goes Ed Boyles Jr. down to the bottom side, able to drive all the way down the banking here at Kansas. Slide on up in front of the number 8 car, Kevin Ruff, again, all over the back bumper, once again in the number 5 car. He's going to try it again. He's going to go down to the bottom side. Kevin Ruff up to the bumper, up to the door. The front bumpers are even. This is going to be a 3-lap drag race for the lead. Tim Wortman Jr. wants a piece of the action. You can see Wayne Bowen joining the party as well. How about the 24 of Wade Palmer, the 5th? He's trying to drive up, holding on to the top 5 right now, on board with the Ed Boyles Jr. machine. In the number 5, Contact between the top two drivers. The 5 and the 8 touch doors. They slow up just a little bit. Ed Boyles Jr. still trying to hold on to the lead on the outside. Tim Wortman Jr. going even higher. That 00 wants a piece of the action, and he's bringing some friends with him. Coming to the stripe, popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go. Still door to door between the 5 and the 8. Tim Wortman Jr. not sure what line he wants, but he wants the fast one. He's going all the way up to the door, or up to the wall, and you can see, contact between the 5 and the 8. The 8 holds onto it, loses the front end of the race car. Gives the opportunity for Tim Wortman Jr. to jump down low. Wayne Bowen thought about it, but he's going to tuck right back in behind that driver, Ed Boyles Jr., coming to the stripe out of turn number 4. Loose again for the number 8 of Kevin Ruff. He's going to lose multiple positions. All the 5 car has to do is make a perfect lap, a qualifier lap, if you will, and he'll be locking himself in to the championship round of 12. Tim Wortman Jr. now out of trouble. He's up in the marbles. He's going to let Wayne Bowen go down on the bottom side. The number 11 car, they're still door to door. Dave Douthwaite down in there as well. Wade Palmer in at the top 5. But how about it? That number 5 car, Ed Boyles Jr., going to be driving to the stripe, and he's going to be going to the championship round of 12. Ed Boyles Jr., victory lane. Here he comes, and here comes the rest of the field. We're going to have to take a look at timing and scoring because there was a whole gaggle of race cars that crossed the line almost simultaneously. But how about that? We finish under green. And that number 5 car going to come home with the victory. Phenomenal racing from these guys here in the Loose Lugz Cup Series. And especially here at Kansas. I love doing races at this racetrack. Puts on one heck of a show. But we're going to take a peek at the results. See where these drivers, fireworks going off there in turn number 3 and 4. They must be illegal fireworks. We didn't order those, I don't think. But Ed Boyles Jr., Tim Wortman Jr., Wayne Bowen, those drivers finished in the top 3 in the podium. We're going to see if we can get some words with them here on the post-race show. Dave Douthwaite, Wade Palmer the 5th as the number 5 of Ed Boyles Jr. burns him down on the start-finish line. Kevin Ruff drops back to 6th after that little bit of contact there. Derek Cook, Drew Moffitt, Jimmy Apsher, and Chris Spear fighting back for a top 10. There you can see Kenny Capola. He's won last week, so he's already locked into the round of 12. Had a good fast car with his teammate Chris Spear running in the top 5 earlier on, but fell back just a little bit further on back. Ken Ellert, Josh Battles, Joshua Nolan, Keith Hume Sr., Bobby Justice, Colin Zemer, Tim Ingram, the top 18. And see the 5 car really burning them down there. The rest of the field popping up on your screen. Michael Miller, multiple laps down. Matt Mackin, Jamison Middlemiss, Tyler Smith, and Guy Bonifield in there as well. And not sure why Caleb Levener's name's on the entry list. I don't believe he raced here tonight, but you can see big-time action and big-time burnouts. Looks like the 5 car might have actually blown up there, unless he's just pausing for a view with the fans. But let's see if we can catch up with our winner here. Still sitting on the front stretch, kind of taking some photos with the fans. We talked to you earlier tonight, Ed, and you said your plan was to go out and win, lock yourself into the round of 12, and, well, here you are in the round of 12, winner here at Kansas.
Yes, sir. Boy, I'm so excited. This was a blast. That caution at the end, I got a little nervous. But wow, what a race with Cavan at the end there. He got into me a little bit and he saved it. It looked like, I don't know what happened, but boy, I'm excited.
Absolutely. We saw that car was set up on rails here in the number 5 HendrickCars.com car, and saw some phenomenal battles with you and the number 8 car, and especially within that last restart there, a little bit of contact. Almost, it looked like it could almost go either way looking at the camera shots. What was going through your mind when you were racing that hard with the 8?
You know what? I just wanted to get to the high side, and I spun my tires on the restart, and he cleared me, and that last run, I saved enough where I ran the high side, so I was able to run the bottom these last few laps, and it stuck. That's really all that matters. It stuck, and then he couldn't get it to stick on the bottom at the end, and that's how she went.
And lots of battles all the way around the racetrack. You can hear the nerves in your voice, and you came in tonight, 33-point cushion. That doesn't matter. With a victory here tonight at Kansas, you're locked into the round of 12. Getting a little bit closer to that championship race here, and in a couple of months' time. What have you got for him next week? Are we going to see in Victory Lane once again?
You know what? The Lady in Black next week, Darlington. Hope so. That's awesome track, so much fun to race there, and we'll see if we can get it done, get another 2, but hopefully I can get a win in the next round. Just keep on moving.
Momentum in the corner of the number 5 car, and want to give you the opportunity here, Ed, to thank any friends, family, sponsors, teammates, anybody out there watching at home. Floor's all yours.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my wife for always supporting me in the sim racing career. Butt Kicker, our sponsors here. Obviously, Vidane TV, you guys always been so great to us. Just my teammates, everybody there in the Hendrick stable and working together. Got CS Racing there working on a new wrap for me for my car, so hopefully we get that done here soon and get that out here before the end of the year.
Phenomenal run here tonight. Most laps led, probably the fastest lap time, but more importantly, coming home with that checkered flag. Phenomenal run, locked into the round of 12. Congratulations, man. Go celebrate.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to slide on down pit road just a little bit. The double lot, Tim Wortman Jr. finishing in second. Great run here tonight, and good charge towards the end of the run.
Yeah, it feels good to be talking to you 2 weeks in a row.
100%, and 100 laps here at Kansas, and we've seen some phenomenal racing here at Kansas Speedway throughout all the different leagues that we work with here at Vidane TV, and you guys never hesitate to deliver, and a great show here tonight. Long green flag runs. We saw some green flag pit stops. Was that something you were kind of planning for at this big racetrack, or were you looking at short runs? How did you kind of go through it this tonight?
Yeah, I had the feeling after last week we were due for a clean one. And just with the track, when you start down low and it tends to work up towards the wall, when you can get those long green flag runs and work up towards the wall, it makes for amazing racing.
Absolutely, and we saw a lot of that. Drivers kind of sliding around the racetrack just a little bit, using that high, wide, and handsome line up towards the wall, and definitely made it work all the way around the racetrack here, coming home with a second place victory. That's not a thing. A second place finish here at Kansas. And want to give you an opportunity here, Tim, to thank anybody that makes it happen for the virtual 00 team.
Well, we accidentally missed one last week, so I'm going to shout out Chris Spear and CS Racing for the awesome job he did on my paint job. Want to thank Oakney Hill Products, Tactical Arbitrage, Scant Power, and Carhartt. Go out and get yourself a sick beanie. We got just an awesome stuff on the car right now. So just excited to be putting it on the podium every week.
Momentum on the side of the 00, and a good run here tonight. Solid finish, P2 for Tim Wortman. And even further down pit road, but last but not least, Wayne Bowen in the 11 car. Strong charge towards the end of the run. Top 10 most of the night here and finishing in third. Talk to us.
They were just a little quicker than me on the short runs. My long run, setup was good. I just got too far behind at the beginning, and I tried to short pit them a couple times, but they catch on and come in the next lap, so I couldn't really cut into the lead deep. So that last caution was a blessing in disguise, get me a chance, but I just was bunched up behind them, in fourth place, and every time I get a run, I had to check up unless I wanted to try to go 3 wide and take us all out. But, happy to come home third. Damn photo finish, almost had second. Good racing with them up there. If I had a few more laps to go, I think if we could have fell in line, I believe I could have worked by them. If I ever got to the front, I think that would have been it. But I didn't. I'll take my third place. That's better than last week. Help us out in the points to try and get us on to the next round. And, that's pretty much it. I let them get a little bit too big of a lead on me at the start of the race, and I never could overcome it, really.
But definitely turned out to be a good night. Top 10 qualifying effort turns into a podium finish here at Kansas. And having a good points night is definitely the way to go. And we talked to Ed Boyles Jr., the winner of tonight's race, earlier on here tonight, and he came in with a big points cushion, and he still wanted to win the race. Is that the goal next week at Darlington?
Just the goal for me is keep it in one piece and try to get a top 10. But, if it comes down to it like tonight, I was actually just riding and it was like, all right, I'm going to finish fourth. I'd done all I could do. Like I say, got too far behind at the beginning. But, the caution there gave us a shot to get it. But I tried to use my head and be smart and, not give it all up in the last couple laps trying to get one more spot. So going into next week, looking to do the same thing, just keep the fenders on it, stay clean, and hopefully get to the end of the race, whether it's a caution, last pits to whatever it is, and just have a shot at the win like we did tonight. And that's about all you can ask for.
100%, and an absolutely astonishing run here. Great finish in the number 3 car, and want to give you the opportunity to thank anybody that makes it happen for the virtual number 11 team who's going to be carrying you to that championship race here in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes, sir. Big shout out to the team owner, Coach Jimmy Absher. Man, these setups he works on and gets for us and stuff, puts us in the ballpark every week and keeps us up front where we need to be. So really thank him. And, my teammates, we all work good together. I think a couple of them had some bad luck, but, we race each other good and, so we don't have any trouble. Thanks for y'all for coming on and, doing these races at Verdane, man. We sure appreciate it. Y'all do a great job, and we got Butt Kicker and Sim Race Hub, just, everybody that comes on board and makes this possible. Big shout out to all the admins. We had Caleb come in as an admin tonight, to help with the race, and, Wade and Ned and Matt. And then also Chris Spears at CS Racing, for the wraps and the snowman on my hood for me. And thank him for doing that. And just, everybody that makes it happen. Appreciate it.
And a good solid run, finishing third, momentum into next week's race at Darlington. And that's going to do it here for us tonight here at Kansas. The Loose Lugz Cup Series putting on one heck of a show here for 100 laps. Only a couple of quick little cautions, and we had ourselves a green flag stretch that could compete with any of them that we've had here on Verdane TV. And coming up on the schedule here, you can see there on your screen the second annual TCM 300 coming up this Friday night, November 19th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Atlantic Canada's, as well as a bunch of Americans kind of sprinkled in, looking to put on a show for the at the Bull Ring Super Late Model action. Going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow night's the last chance qualifier. We aren't going to be carrying that live here on Verdane TV because we've already got commitments with the NEPS guys, New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group, coming out tomorrow night at Watkins Glen for 30 laps with it. Zany Does the Glenny 30, and that's going to be an absolute blast. And be sure to get your bets in over at Twitter. Follow along at NEPS Bets, and you can follow along with all the trash talking those guys do as well. But that's going to do it here for us tonight. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the Verdane TV production booth, and we're going to catch you guys on the flip side. When we do, we will be doing it live.